Shalom, shalom. Braktai how about Shem Yavashai by Shem Kakadash. Just want to drop some real quick because I've been getting messages too. So I just want to show y'all some real quick, right? So a lot of people use this Ephesians chapter 6. I think it's verse 12. They forget verse 11. We'll get to that. Verse 12, where we deal with spiritual wickedness in high places. But I've been getting a lot of messages too. People haven't been feeling good. Well, Israelites, we tried to tell y'all, right? They got all this stuff activating with what they call Cern and all this. Like, listen, all the other nations that were before us, they did this same wickedness. They would throw parties. Think about the first movie, Independence Day with Will Smith. Remember, they were all out throwing parties, et cetera, et cetera. There was an eclipse going on. And then the so-called UFOs entered, and they were partying, drinking, dancing, and everybody was up on top. They were celebrating their own destruction, and they had no idea what was coming. All right. So I just want to show this real quick. I'm going to go right to the comments so y'all can see this. Look at it. Almost 200 people and more, right? Look what the young lady said. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. It don't matter. You see that? Did anyone else feel drained and feel like you were having to throw up after this solar eclipse? Multiple people are experiencing these side effects, right? Somebody else, yes, some people I know was feeling this, right? As you go down, she's like, look, yo, I'm getting an overpour of people telling me this. And if you go through these comments, right, it's over 50. I ain't going to go through all of it. But a lot of people are saying like, yo, I was feeling the same way. Look, people saying same, like, yeah, I felt nauseous. I felt dizzy. Anyway, with that, y'all can look through that kind of on your own, but I'm going to get into the scriptures on it, right? So, and we know they doing the stuff with Elon Musk and the stuff with Cern. Listen, we deal with spiritual wickedness. Let me just get that so I ain't just talking about it, right? We deal with spiritual wickedness in high places, right? Matter of fact, we're going to go there, right? We're going to start at verse 11, and we're going to break it down just a little bit to understand we got to have faith and works, right? Like, I believe that's in Numbers. We'll get to that. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a note so I remember to go back to it. Numbers 23, right? As long as the Israelites are keeping the law, as long as we doing what we supposed to do, keeping the law and faith, nothing will come near us. This is outside of Christianity. You can't just have faith and avoid it. Let's break it down. Ephesians 6 and 11. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. What is the armor of Yahweh? The whole armor. That's the law. You got to have faith and works. I mean, you got to be keeping the law too. You can't just say, I'm saved by the blood of Jesus. No. So we're going to get into that, right? He said, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, Esau, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Esau, right? So we're going to get into that armor. So when we talk about the law and armor, matter of fact, let's get right into what in Psalms, what's during Jacob's trouble and during the times of these world wars, right? That's what Psalms 91 is talking about, right? I'm going to just get straight to it. So everybody pretty much know this prayer. It's funny when you hear Christians say, well, who is the Most High? But then they'll post Psalms 91 in their bio and don't even read verse 1. Right. But I'm going to get straight to it for the sake of it. Right. Because a lot of people have been emailing me, texting me. Right. Not feeling well, etc. Right. So look at Psalms 91, verse 4. He shall cover thee. He's talking about the Hebrews, the Israelites. He shall cover thee with his feathers. Under his wings shall we trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. See, a lot of people, they just, back to Ephesians 6 and 12. They got on, the armor of God, if you will, but all they got on is the shoes. They have no armor, right? They got on the shoes. They ain't put on no armor. They ain't keeping no law, no commandments, still eating pork, shrimp, lobster, crab, celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. That's putting on the whole armor. They ain't got nothing to protect their shins, their legs, their thighs, no Teflon vests. They have nothing. The truth is the shield. They're not even carrying a shield. So how they going to be protected? You're not going to be protected, right? Back to Psalms 91, right? The truth shall be our shield during these times, right? If you go down to verse 5, 6, 7, 8, that's talking about all these diseases and famines that's coming, the same plagues that's coming upon all of Esau providences, the nukes that's coming. This talking about the 200 million nukes that John saw in Revelations. If we not keeping the law and have faith, you have no shield. You supposed to have a shield on like Captain America. If Captain America lose his shield, he trash. That's what most people are. Like right now, just to be honest with you, if we not doing that, we have no protection. He says our truth shall be our shield. So let's break down what truth is. We'll stay right in Psalms, right? And this is why those people are nauseous, feeling dizzy, falling out. Some people have fainted, right? Go through and read those comments. I'll go back through and show some more. But it's several hundred people, if not thousands, that are feeling bad during this time. Psalms 191, I'm looking for 142, right? Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and the law is the truth. So in Psalms 91, when it says the truth will be our shield, if you ain't keeping the law, you see how Esau tricked everybody? If you ain't keeping the law and just say, oh, I'm saved by the blood of Jesus, you ain't got no protection. You are open to any and all. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Numbers, right? I think it's Numbers chapter 23, right? Now, it's about 6 or 7 chapters. Numbers 23, I want to say, is through 28. This got to deal with the doctrines and spells and customs of Balaam, Balak, all right? Witches, warlocks, soothsayers, wizards, right? Verse 23 here, I'll highlight it so people can see it. Verse 23, right? Even the witches and the necromancers, soothsayers, sorcerers, all them who manifesting and reading your hands and come here, girl, come over here, let me read you, all that stuff. They know that they can't do nothing against the men of Israel. They know who we are. They see us outside teaching, might see us on YouTube, Instagram, podcast. They know exactly who we are. And they know that they spells, it can't work on us, but it can work on y'all. Meaning our brothers and sisters, everybody who out there he and ha and that we just showed, it can work on y'all, right? Look at verse 23, Numbers 23 and 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, just talking about the Israelites, the Hebrew people. It can't work against us if we keep in the law. Neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what had Yahweh wrought? So if we keeping the law, we got our truth, and we got faith that we're good, right? Nothing can come near us, right? So these are the things that they doing with Cern and the different astrologies and the different things like the ship that backed into the little bridge the other day, man. All that stuff was witchcraft. All that stuff is enchantment. All that stuff, even with the Final Four and the basketball and the reason why it's tonight and the Caitlin Clark stuff, all that is enchantment and witchcraft. It's just right before your eyes and you don't know it, right? That's a whole, by the way, that's a whole man. That's a whole boy. That is not a girl. Think about the last Caitlin that came out. Over there with the Kardashians. Like, people just need to wake up. All right? Matter of fact, let's get into that in Deuteronomy 18. Right? And we'll just break some of this down real quick, right? I don't know if I'm going to read it all. And I'll get right to it. Deuteronomy 18 and 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son nor his daughter pass it through the fire. You don't have him or her sitting down doing yoga, manifesting, doing Halloween, trick or treat, Ishtar, Easter. You don't have them doing none of that. That's what the Most High saying. Or that use a divination or an observer of times or an enchanter or witch, right? Or a charmer or a consulter with familiar spirits or a wizard or a necromancer. Matter of fact, let me get into that. Let me show you just one of the most simplistic things that can make us go off. You will not find, for an example, I'm going to step off for a little bit. You will not find wedding rings anywhere in the Bible. By the power invested in me, by the state of New York, you are now husband and wife. But people zoom past that. By the power invested in you by the state of who? That ain't all that is charming, is charmer. That's why they say, oh, well, Prince Charming, he got down on one knee. That's why they show you this in these Disney movies. It's a spell. It's enchantment. It's witchcraft. Matter of fact, let's get into it. Where was it? Let's get into charmer, right? Once you get into the Hebrew, look what it says. To tie magic charms. Once you go back into the Hebrew, that means to tie the knot. This is where the terms tie the knot comes from. It's charming. It's a charmer. That's why they say he's so charming. He's so doing this. He got down on one knee. It was so magical, right? If we get back into the Hebrew, right? It's going to say, Salaki. It's going to say, yeah, right there, to be joined together. To be joined together. It's right there, even in the Briggs, right? When you're looking at that, it says what? Be joined to tie a magic knot, a spell. When you get down on one knee, you're not supposed to get down on one knee to nobody. When you get down on one knee, you're only supposed to live to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. When you get down on one knee, especially in Babylon, America, you instantly give all of your power, all of your celestial and terrestrial power over to that woman. Now she's leading. That's why 89% of all marriages, divorces, are filed by the woman. That's why she gets everything from you. Because you got down on one knee. Now the Most High, he ain't with you no more. Once we do that, the Most High, he leaves the room. He leaves the courtroom. He leaves the wedding. He's like, what you doing? You got down on one knee. You gave it to her. Right? It don't work that way, right? Verse 12, right? For all these things are an abomination. So when you drop down one, that's an abomination to the Most High, right? The things that they doing out here, the reason all of them getting sick, all in the hospital, nausea and all that, they commit an abomination. They don't even know it. That's a sign for Israel. That sign means to us, get your house in order and Esau about to be destroyed. It's about to be Jacob's trouble and World War III about to start. We don't need to be throwing no party or nothing. Go on, continue to work. Be in your house if you work from home. None of that matters to us. Right? Verse 12, for all these things are an abomination unto Yahweh, and because of these abominations, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai do drive them out from before thee. Right? Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh, our power. Right? Matter of fact, so since we know that they do these things, he's talking about all these nations. I want to say that was in the New Testament, Corinthians. Yeah, Corinthians 10. No, not this. Corinthians 10 and, yeah, right there, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles, the heathen nations, sacrifice, they sacrifice unto devils and not Yahweh. Right? I'm going to show another video and you're going to see that you're going to see a devilish face in the sky as it came right over Dallas. Right? And I would not that you have fellowship with devils. Right? So if I'm able to even go back to that, if it's still showing it, look. Look at this. Look at their comments. I literally just sat down to go lay down. I'm feeling sick. I was trying to eat and I just feel nauseated. I feel weak. And some people in the comments, they saying, yeah, I feel fine. I got energy. That's because they devils. They vampires. All right? So that's where that comes from. We deal with spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? He tells us not to, during Jacob's trouble, we're not even supposed to be around that. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh. You got to have faith and works, right? Like in the book of John, he says, to those who say, I have faith without any works. He said, I'll show you my faith by my works, right? So that's what it's getting into. Put on the whole armor. Start keeping the law. Get out of the world. This is what's happening. And by the way, they also amped up the power, if you will, on them towers. So a lot of y'all feeling bad because these towers they done turned up with Cern and Tesla, what they got going on. So if you probably around towers and stuff like that, you probably ain't gonna feel good. So with that, hopefully you Akims and Akwakims have been edified. Shalom.